la la, yeah, boy. La la la, yeah, boy.
Zone beats, boy.
Kia ora team, here are live with Big Boys Boxing once again. I'm Jono, your host. So as usual, I'll get a few things sorted here, send out some invites, and we'll get into it. Sounds on. Let me check my audio. Sorted here. We're all good. Alright. Regulars. I'm about to send y'all a hangout link so we can get some people to join here. Using a different hangout today, so things may be a bit different, but hopefully I'm not gonna get this cutting out shit that I have been getting recently. So give me a sec here. Regulars, I've just sent you a link on Hangouts, and I'll drop one in the chat. I'm not sure if it's gonna work for anybody who wants to go through the chat link, so if you want to join and the link doesn't work, there's a email in the description. You can go to Hangouts and message me on that email and I'll add you to the conversation if you'd like to join. Alright, so yesterday I dropped a video about the WBC postponing the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder purse bid that was scheduled for yesterday. And after looking on the WBC website and seeing the story on Boxing Scene, WBC published that article to their website. But that article didn't say anything about how long it was postponed for, or, you know, give a new purse bid date. So I assumed it was, they've just put it off and they may not set a new purse bid date. But it seems it's a 7-day extension. I've found other sources. So I'm happy with that. If the deal gets made before then, cool. It's good news. We'll get the fight. I don't want to, however, see another extension. You know, it's a little ironic, really. Tyson Fury, last time around, was talking about Shelly Finkel and Tim Wilder were the easiest people to work with. They made a deal in no time. But this time around, it's a little bit different. I'm just guessing here, but I reckon Team Wilder are being a bit more stringent on what they want out of the deal. They weren't expecting Tyson Fury to be as good as he was last time round. They certainly weren't expecting a draw. So, you know, Shelly Finkel's saying that proceedings are going well. However, they haven't made a deal yet. Interesting. I don't know what they're haggling over. I suspect Tyson Fury is probably going to want more percentage, as he's got more market value now, and he thinks he can probably beat Deontay Wilder. I mean, I'm sure he believes he actually beat Deontay Wilder last time anyway, but it is what it is. If it goes to purse bid, so be it. It'll be 60-40 split, and all the big players will be in, putting in their big bucks. The fighters could possibly make more money than what's being negotiated at present, so we'll see what happens. We've got Dillian Whyte looking around for another opponent. There's been a few mentioned, and a date for April 20th. Another little ironic thing there. The April 13th date against Anthony Joshua is out because there wasn't enough time for him to prepare, because the offers didn't get sent until mid-January sort of thing. But interestingly enough, it looks like April 20th, only 7 days later, is going to be his date at the O2 for a fight against possibly Dominic Breazeale, possibly Luis Ortiz, or possibly Alexander Povetkin. Now, Luis Ortiz does have a scheduled fight against Christian Hammer coming up. It's pretty much a stay busy fight, I thought. Does not have much point to it. Christian Hammer is not ranked. He hasn't been in the ring since losing to Alexander Povetkin 2 years ago nearly. So, I don't know, Christian Hammer, I don't think he's any kind of world beater or anything like that. He's a durable kind of guy. He can fight when he wants to. His last performance against Alexander Povetkin was a shocker. You know, he shelled up, fought on the defense to survive for the whole fight. Luis Ortiz could possibly get some rounds out of him if he fights him like that, but I can't see Christian Hammer beating Luis Ortiz. Possibly, maybe if it goes long and Luis Ortiz gasses. I mean, he's got that age thing to deal with. But besides all that, Luis Ortiz is busy, but he's been known to do quick turnarounds in the past. So it's still a possibility. For me, I think Dominic Breazeale is the best choice. He's probably the least risky, but you can't count out Dominic Breazeale. We've seen it before. You know, against Izu Ugano, most thought he was going to lose that fight, and it looked like he was going to until Izu gassed out and took some punishment. But Breazeale having that WBC mandatory position is the biggest attraction for Dillian Whyte. He's been fighting some pretty decent opponents. He's not a mandatory at this stage for any governing body, and this would give him a window into that. So we'll see what happens. Just a minute here, I'm just looking at a hangout message. Got Dan Mac, you live? I'm live now. I'll drop the link here for you, mate. Hopefully you can get in. Try that link that I've just dropped you and see if you can get in there, bud. Alright, so yeah, I see Dominic Breazeale as the best opponent. And he has expressed some interest in fighting Dillian Whyte. So hopefully it can get made. I don't imagine it's going to be a cheap fight for Eddie Hearn. You know, it had been mentioned before, and apparently Dominic Breazeale did want some pretty outrageous money, and I imagine it'll be the same. I don't think he's going to be able to get that fight for Dillian Whyte for less than about $4 million. But that's just a rough guess. But we'll see what happens, because it could be a very decent event. There are some other fights that have been talked about to possibly be on that card. So check this shit. These guys could be on the card, and there's more as well. So we've got Dillian Whyte, Dominic Breazeale. I see that as the favorite. Well, it could be Dillian Whyte. You can put either Ortiz or Povetkin in Breazeale's place, and it'll still happen. But Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora are being talked about for that card as well. So that'd be a good chief support for a pay-per-view event. Also Lucas Brown and Dave Allen is talked about for being put on that card. And there's also Michael Hunter versus Carlos Takam is being talked about to add to that card as well. So it'll be a heavyweight extravaganza. I could see the winner of Chisora versus Parker wanting to fight the winner of Brazil versus Whyte, but I don't know whether that'd happen. We've seen Derek Chisora get spectacularly knocked out by Dillian Whyte recently. I don't think there'd be too many people wanting to see that fight in any kind of big hurry as the third time. Maybe quite a few would like to see Parker versus Whyte again. It'll be interesting. I'm sure Parker thinks he could get on top of Dillian this time around. So, interesting. Okay, Double A. Sweet as, hopefully you can get in. I'm just trying to figure out whether anybody's actually succeeding on getting in. Dan Max having trouble by the sounds of it. Hold on. Link won't work. Okay, hold on, mate. I'll try and add you the manual way. How can I do this? Give me a sec here. I just got to figure this shit out. Hold on a sec, peeps. Give me a minute. See if I can edges this way. Boom. I sent you an invite. It's probably make your phone ring. See if it works that way. Get you in. There we go. Double A's in the house. How are you, brother?
Is that working?
Yeah, man. Clear as a bell.
I can't really see it. I think my phone's froze. Alright.
Yeah, your pictures just come up.
That's it.
You good?
Aye. No, that like when you opened Dan Mac was there as well. Dan Mac couldn't get in.
Yeah, I sent him an invite as well. He should be able to answer his phone to get in now, hopefully.
Nice one. No, that looks a good card, but can you really see Joseph Parker going to fight on that against, because Chisora couldn't have made good money against Whyte the last time. I think that's a lot of people to pay off a pay-per-view card. I don't think they'll have that in them. That's a lot. Every single one of them would want top money.
I agree. I guess it depends how much money Eddie thinks he can make off it. Whether he's going to sell the rights to UK market as well, maybe. He'd probably put it on the zone anyway. Maybe he'd want to chip into a bit of that money or something. I don't know. But it certainly would cost him to get Parker Chisora, and I think even Dominic Brazil is going to be very expensive. He's going to want good money to sell that mandatory position, isn't he? So
they'll know how much, because surely Dillian Whyte already knows how much he wants, because he made the fight against Parker and he made the fight against Chisora when he should have really fought Brazil for that. So he's had over a year to find out how much Brazil wants, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he should know.
Okay.
I don't know, Bill. Dillian Whyte says he got paid £2 million when he fought against Chisora. So if Brazil wants $4 million, then there needs to be a lot in that pot.
Yeah.
That's AJ's pot in it. That's like over $1 million pay-per-view buys at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe, but who knows? I would like to see that, but I don't think we'll see all them on one card.
No, we're kind of hopeful, I think. But
I think Povetkin. I think we're going to see Dillian Whyte fight Povetkin in April. I really think it'll be Povetkin.
He possibly might not be as expensive, and he's a reputable name, isn't he? So I wouldn't scoff at it. I couldn't care which one of the three that they're mentioning it is. I think it's a good fight for any of them, but I don't see as much point behind Luis Ortiz than anybody. You know, the only profile he's got is really fighting Deontay Wilder and losing, isn't it? Besides that, his best opponents
He's known by a lot of Matchroom fan boys as well, because he was signed. Remember, he was signed with Matchroom. So when Matchroom signed him in the UK, like he was turning up at events. Like he was at every press conference, and they did push him for a bit. So people in Britain, everybody knows if they watch boxing who Luis Ortiz is, even as a casual, because he was always there. He was there for 18 months or whatever he was. He headlined an event for Matchroom, so like people do know who he is.
Yeah.
He lost too much money as well.
I think so.
Because it's no long to go in it. So what is it? 10 weeks?
Yeah. Well, that was something I brought up at the start of the stream. It was interesting how Dillian Whyte was talking for a AJ fight on April 13th wasn't enough time, but yet this April 20th date is only 7 days later, and that seems fine. So,
I think he wanted. There's an interview with, you should go watch this. She's called Helen Yee.
Okay.
She's a Helen Yee, and see when Dillian Whyte was in America for the Amir Khan, remember? And he was talking to people. He gave an interview with this woman, and he said to her, "Look, I asked Eddie in September to start negotiations. Pretty much everything he's saying now. He wanted a 20-week drug test. He wanted VADA. He wanted a 20-week drug test, and he wanted 12 weeks notice." The press conference 12 weeks before it, and he said it's too late now, and that was a way back then. He was talking about he wasn't taking the fight.
Yeah.
He wants it fair. He wants at least a 20-week drug test and at least 12-week camp.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah. Interesting. What do you reckon about this WBC purse bid extension? Got any qualms with that for Wilder versus Fury?
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
I did see your stream last night, and you were saying you Kell Brook versus Errol Spence, that got delayed. Like, it does, extensions and getting extended pretty common. Like, it is common, but it's strange for them to do it when they've ordered a fight. But it might be because the fight only happened. You got to remember, they're negotiating on a rematch of a fight that only happened weeks ago. So I think it's going to be raw with the minute. Like, I don't think Tyson Fury's going to be sitting down there being pals with Deontay Wilder.
No, that's right.
He's going to be sat down there saying he wants judges. I'll put a bet on with anybody that when they fight again, that no judges for America, no judges for Britain, and the referee isn't for America or Britain. Guarantee it. It'll be contracted. They'll no fight. That's why they'll never fight in Vegas.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, for sure.
I think that's a massive sticking point for Ben Davison as well. I think that's
understandable after the last time around, really, isn't it? So
we'll see. I don't think it'll go to purse bid though. I can't see it.
No, well, I'm kind of wondering if it gets to the next purse bid date, which is the 12th of February. If it gets to there and they still haven't made a deal, I'm going to be very interested to see whether the WBC is going to bend over and give another extension. Because it certainly seems like the WBC are doing everything they possibly can to help Team Wilder hang on to this fight and not let it go anywhere else.
They want that fight. They want that rematch made, don't they?
Big time. Big time. You know, it was
a lot of money for them though. They're guaranteed a 3% share of that money.
Yeah. Well, that's why I find it interesting. You know, if Eddie Hearn comes in with his DAZN money and buys the fight for $10 million, just for argument's sake, the WBC still get 3% of that, so their cut is bigger. I can't understand why they're being so loyal to.
But I don't understand. Why do people think that DAZN are capable of just going out there and spending and buying other people's fights? They're looking to invest in their own fighters. Them buying another heavyweight they're paying 35 million to Canelo, 15 to Jacobs. Then they're going to have to pay AJ versus Muller. They're going to have to pay the two events. Are they going to really go and fork out extra money for another event with their two fighters on it? And you got to remember, like the likes of BT, and BT will want to bid on their fighter Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Like BT will bid on that. I think they will. Like, I think people sleep on BT, but they've only been in boxing for a wee time, so see how they push it.
Well, they've obviously got some money too, because, you know, that 50 million, I think, was a legit amount of money. You know, despite the fact that AJ couldn't take it and all that sort of crap, that didn't matter. The money was there, so they do have the money to buy these big fights if they want to.
BT made £2 billion in profit last year. Sky made £1 billion. So that shows you, like, BT on their TV channel in Britain, they only have 3 sports channels, but they pretty much own every single person's. Do you know your internet router? You have to plug into BT. BT own the transmission lines, and they're called British Telecom. They own all the old phone lines, so they own all the internet. Basically, internet servers have to pay them to run, because you have to use it goes through phone lines. So everybody pays BT. Most people have a BT phone line in their house in Britain. Yeah. They don't make money off of their sports, but they invest in it.
Yep. They're not short of a buck, that's for dang sure.
Yep.
Interesting. What else would we like to touch on? Michael Hunter versus Carlos Takam is being talked about for that possible April 20 card as well. What do you reckon of that fight?
That'd be a good fight. I think that would be maybe good on the AJ undercard.
That's not till June, it's a fair way away.
I think it would make sense for him because he's American as well, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I guess Michael Hunter's American, and Takam's pretty much known around the world due to him fighting some big names, so I think it's a pretty damn good test for Michael Hunter. Yeah, very interesting fight. Very, very interesting. I think I'd probably even pick Michael Hunter. I guess to a degree we've got to start taking into account that Takam has really taken a beating in the last couple of years from some of these big fights, so maybe it's starting to take a toll on him, especially that big knockout from Chisora. I mean, he was laid out big time, so how competitive is he going to be at a decent level these days? He's getting on in age too. He must be up around 37, something like that. So
yeah, he's getting on a bit. He's had a few fights as well. He had a lot of fights in a row, didn't he? He did a lot of matchroom fights. So he's been busy. So
yeah,
he's on the decline.
Gotta be.
Good fight. I'd like to see all the fights you spoke about made. I think they're all possible to get made, but I think they'll be on different cards. I think that's too much for especially Dillian Whyte. Like, 500,000 pay-per-view buys isn't going to. I don't know if they'll be able to stack the card that good. I think you might see maybe Nick Webb making a return. More like Fabio Wardley versus somebody in Nick Webb. I think you might see more heavyweights like that propping it up than the likes of Povetkin and Parker, and we'll see. Maybe one or two of them, but I can't see Chisora, Parker, Povetkin all being on the same undercard. That'd be amazing.
It would be good, but if Eddie's going to make it a pay-per-view event, he's going to have to stack the card with something at least, isn't he? Otherwise there's going to be a whole lot of bitching and moaning, and a lot of people, you know, going and watching illegal streams rather than buying the pay-per-view. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If that card's going to get made, the fights are going to have to get made and announced sort of in the next couple of weeks, really, aren't they? Otherwise people aren't going to have enough time to prepare. Might end up with mismatches due to people not being prepared and shit, so we'll see what happens. So certainly
I'm going for Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown to smash Dave Allen.
Do you think he's going to stop him?
I think he's going to smash him, and then he's going to smash David Price straight after it.
Yeah, I think David Price is just about probably an easier opponent, to be fair. But, you know, I could be wrong depending on his conditioning. But, you know, a fight between Dave Allen and David Price, I think, is actually a pretty damn competitive fight. But I don't think we'll see that. Maybe not in the near future anyway. But, yeah, Lucas Brown, if he can make a couple of quick stoppages of a couple of British guys, then maybe he'll get back in the picture pretty quick. I think he'd probably be looking at maybe a Parker or a Chisora fight. Well, maybe he won't want to fight Chisora actually, if he actually got knocked out in sparring. But he's got to get past these first two opponents first, and we'll see how he goes from there.
I'm going to go watch him.
You're going to go to the fight, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go to his first fight as well. It's at the Trump's Hotel. It's on a small show in Scotland. There's a couple of fighters on there I like, so I'll go watch that.
Who's he fighting? Do you know?
Nah, they've not released it yet, but I'll be honest with you. I know people who know the promoter, and there's a good chance you could see somebody like Dorian Darch, or you're talking somebody like that, DL Jones, or he'll get somebody British, probably. They'll no bring Laura. Anybody for him, he'll get somebody British, but he'll get somebody British that everybody's beat. Dave Hill or something. He'll be one of them.
Do you think he might end up fighting Big Sexy? Sean Turner?
I don't know. He's honestly, he's got some backing behind him just now. See that manager he's just signed in that promotion, he's just signed with. There's an energy drink who are, I don't know if you watch Formula 1, but there's a Formula 1 team called Haas, the Haas team. And they've just took sponsorship of them, called Rich Energy. They call it the champagne energy drinks.
Okay.
It's super expensive for the rich and famous kind of thing. And the guy who owns him is now his manager. He's took Lucas Brown under his wing as well.
Okay.
So they'll be pushing him.
Interesting indeed. Okay.
He's definitely been training full time in a proper gym. Nutritionist and everything, constant every day. Strict diet. Everything they're pretty much doing his diet for him, and he's just following orders now, I think.
Okay.
So he's got a good team behind him, so it should be better.
Cool as. That will be interesting. Just to let you know, Dan, I did send the link to your email in case you were trying to get on still. I had added you to the conversation. I'll try to send it one more time for you. See if we can get you on here.
I've just looked at the chat and seen something I want to tinkle.
I wanna tinkle.
Oh, nice one.
Just a sec here.
I don't think Parker doesn't live and train in Vegas either, does he? Just goes there for his camps, I think now. I don't think he lives there full time.
Nah, he only lives there when he's training.
Yeah.
So he's got a young family at home. So he's with his young kids. So
where does he train? Does he go to? Does he? Obviously, when he's back in New Zealand, does he still train at his old gym?
I think where I went for an open workout in town in Auckland, there's a place he seems to rent out for those. Maybe he's using that place. It's called, what was it called? The Rec Room in town. But I suspect he's probably going to, there's a gym that I've seen them use in Papatoe. So that's closer to where he lives. So he probably uses that gym. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Can't find my goddamn hangout now. Just give me a sec here, mate. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I did see an article that I didn't actually read. Luis Ortiz responded to... That's as far as I got. I thought it was responding to Dillian Whyte. You hadn't come across...
Anthony Joshua.
Oh, was it?
Joshua. He put that thing, Anthony Joshua put out that tweet, didn't he? Saying, who do you want me to fight next?
Oh,
and
that one.
Wilder, Fury.
That was ages ago, wasn't it?
he retweeted that and said I'm ready or something. I don't know what it was. Something like that. I never seen it, but I'm sure that's what it was. So obviously Whyte's offered him a deal, and he's saying I want to fight Joshua. I'll fight in April against. But this is the other thing as well, John. Was I on your? And I was telling you, right? I live in Leeds, which it's in the middle of England. It's Yorkshire, but next to me is another city called Huddersfield, and my mate's a Huddersfield football fan, and they're playing against Spurs at Wembley on the 13th of April. And he contacted the club and said, where are we playing? And they said, we're playing at April on the 13th. And he said, no, Anthony Joshua's there boxing. And they said, no, we're playing football there.
Okay.
As far as we've been told, all Spurs, that we're playing football there. So that, and I said it weeks ago, and I was thinking, that doesn't make sense. Spurs were still saying they were playing at home, and Anthony Joshua was meant to be fighting there as well. In the same, they can't hold that. They're not going to finish a football game and get a ring put out with all the seats in an hour and a half.
Indeed.
I put it up. I tweeted Eddie Hearn. If you go onto my Twitter, I tweeted him and I asked him, but he never got back to me.
Okay.
And I tweeted the clubs. I asked the clubs. And
No.
Spurs still had it on their website that they're playing at home on the 13th of April at Wembley. I don't know.
Okay. No responses. Interesting. Alright. We've got a new article here. Wilder. Joshua is trying to milk the UK after next fight. I'm ready. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I hope he's not thinking that he's just going to walk through Tyson Fury. After the last fight, he'd be silly to think that. But I guess Joshua has expressed interest. Even if Deontay Wilder loses, he'd still like to fight him down the track. But I think before that would happen, if Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury, it'd be more likely that Tyson Fury's going to fight Anthony Joshua first.
Right, this is the other thing, John. Right, do you know the WBC ordered the fight? See, because they ordered the fight between Wilder and Fury, it's not a voluntary, right? In a voluntary, you can have every say, but see, in a mandatory, I'm sure in an ordered fight, I'm sure Tyson Fury can he can put no rematch in that.
He can.
It's a voluntary fight.
He can put a rematch in. Did you say?
No, Tyson Fury can refuse a rematch.
Yeah.
Like
he can.
This fight, people are saying, he could be fighting for 2 years. I think Tyson Fury's, he's got to have it in his mind, no rematch this time.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think this is a bit of what's going on with the negotiation problems. Is Tyson Fury is a bit pissed off about the decision last time, and he wants to make sure that he's getting the right cut. I think he'll be pushing for more than 40%, and maybe Deontay Wilder's team don't like that, but to a degree they're not going to have much of a choice because Tyson Fury can just walk away without any penalty. Whereas because the WBC ordered the fight, Deontay Wilder can't do anything else but fight Tyson Fury. So if it goes to purse bid, there's a possibility Wilder's promoters could lose the fight.
You're trying to fight like a man. I can tell you how Tyson Fury's thinking. Tyson Fury's thinking, see if I can get, I want level judges, I want neutral judges, no rematch clause, and the best man wins. Yeah. Tyson Fury will have it. Tyson Fury will be thinking, I'll have a 60-40 split, or AJ or Herner. He'll be thinking, me versus you, it was a draw last time, see who the best man is. That's what will be in his head. And he'll be training thinking, fair judges, and I'm going to box his head off. He'll not be thinking anything else. His team, MTK, will be negotiating for him. Tyson Fury's not negotiating any contracts, ever. Never.
Yeah, I can understand that. And how much influence do you think Frank Warren's got in this negotiation? Do you think he's mainly about the broadcasting rights and whatnot, rather than negotiating splits and referees and fight conditions and things like that?
he'll have some say in it because Tyson Fury's he's already paid Tyson Fury into. Tyson Fury will look at him and say, because Frank is the co-promoter on it, so he will try and look after Frank, but Frank's no his priority and all. His priority is just to fight Wilder. MTK are really the people who are. It's really up to them how he fights because they're his management team. His management team really decide who he fights. His trainer, Ben Davison's with MTK as well. So all Frank Warren did was pay Tyson Fury for his comeback.
Yep.
It's down to loyalty now, innit? But he is loyal.
Indeed.
I can't imagine he's not going to run out. Frank paid him well for 8 fights and got him the fight got him a world title fight 6 months after he came back for being overweight and a coke head. So he done alright in 6 months, so he probably will stick by him, but I don't know if he'll turn around to Frank Warren and say, oh, the fight needs to be in Britain. Because if he'd let Frank Warren be in charge of that fight, Frank Warren would have stuck his heels in and say we're fighting in Britain.
Yep, definitely. I
So,
agree.
MTK proved it with Billy Joe, didn't they?
They did.
Like they took on negotiations with Billy Joe and cut a deal with Eddie Hearn that was best.
Yep. Indeed. So kind of back to this WBC order of the rematch. What do you think the point of ordering it was?
It's money, innit? See, for them, but they can't order. You can't order a unification. This is an undisputed. They can't order Deontay Wilder to fight Anthony Joshua, and none of the sanctioning bodies can order him because they're not ranked. They can't order. So what they really need to do is bang their heads together and say, see, after somebody's got 2 belts, if somebody else has got only when it's 2 people, if 2 people hold all the belts between them, the next time the 2 of them fight, they should bother to fight each other. It needs to be one rule. Just do that, and then you always have the best. It's no hard.
Yeah.
They could so Joshua could just fight mandatories forever. He's not even fought Pulev yet, and they're still going to call up the WBO. So that's 2 that he's going to need to fight that are getting called up. The WBO will call that up within a month, I reckon. So that's 2 he's already guaranteed that he needs to fulfil before he fights somebody else. And none of them will be Tyson Fury or Wilder. So Joshua's got 2 fights to take care of. Unless they fight the IBF will say don't fight him mandatory.
Well, I don't know. They have come out and said that the WBO is next in the schedule, but you know, if they muck around too much longer, I can see the IBF going over top. But also at the same time, Kubrat Pulev's busy, isn't he? He's got Robert Helenius to deal with now. So, Dan Mac, I'll send a link to your phone one more time. It's coming now, so it should ring for you.
Do you think the WBO, do you think they'll just call a mandatory? Do you think they'll just call Whyte as a mandatory, or do you think they'll make Whyte fight somebody in a final eliminator? Do you think they'll order a final eliminator?
Well, I think he's probably fought, you know, enough quality for them to just appoint it, but I don't know, if he ends up fighting Povetkin or Brazil, maybe they'll just say that's a final eliminator just for the sake of saying it, so there's nobody arguing about it. But I did hear Eddie Hearn say that the WBO mandatory isn't due till September this year, so...
I know he gave an interview and said that he gave an interview only a couple of weeks ago saying that he'd been on at the WBO and they were looking at calling that in a couple of weeks, like they're looking at calling that in February.
Okay. Yeah, I did hear him say that it has to be called prior to September and it has to be fought by September, but that seems a fair way away to me as well. We've finally got Dan Mac in the house. How are you, brother?
Can you hear me okay?
Clear as a bell, mate.
Fucking hell, man. What an ordeal that was. I don't know about what's going on? What is going on? It's like fucking mastermind trying to go on a hangout. What the fuck is going on?
I've just used a private one this time rather than a live one because I keep getting cut out shit. So it's a bit harder to get in. I have to add you to the group to get you in.
Yeah, I was going in like in Google Hangout, then it's like going through Google, then go through Play Store, then back to Google, back to Play Store. Jeez, oh man. But anyway, regardless. Yep. How are you guys?
Not too bad,
All
mate.
good.
You'll be happy with another dodgy penalty again tonight, Double A. Yeah, that's like 5 back to back.
All right, so we better get your opinion on a couple of things since you got in now, Dan. What do you think about this WBC putting off the purse bid to start with for Wilder Fury?
I don't think it's a big deal, man, to be honest with you. I think it's just pretty standard. Obviously, there's something that they can't quite agree on, but possibly it can get ironed out over the next week or two. I don't know if it's to do with the split. I think Tyson was, I think he in my opinion, he was the A-side in it. So maybe they're a bit disgruntled with the 60-40 split. Maybe looking for a bit more. But who knows, man? I mean, obviously it's behind closed doors, so we don't know the total ins and outs. But I would expect it to get done. For what I gather, it's pretty standard procedure.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. There's nothing too wrong with it. Initially, when I saw the story, I couldn't find a new purse bid date. They just said it was postponed. They didn't say when or anything with the stories I'd read. So I was like, you're not setting a new date. You're just putting it off so you can help the promoters keep the fight. And, pretty much Al Heyman having the WBC in his pocket. But it turns out it's a 7-day extension. So I've got no qualms with the 7-day extension if a deal's close to being made. I did think it was interesting how, first time round Tyson Fury was saying they're the easiest people to deal with, credit to Deontay Wilder's team, so on and so forth. But this time round it's a bit harder to make the deal. But I think Double A made some good points about, getting neutral referees and judges and whatnot this time, having different.
Each state has their own rules. So Nevada selected. New York. Let's see. Somebody told me. I'm sure that in New York, a lot of British fighters went to New York as well, because in New York they're only sent by like the local boxing commission, but they were selected by the boxing boards. So the WBC would appoint the boxers, but I think that would be a problem as well. So I think maybe they thought about New York the first time, and maybe that's why it ended up, and he didn't like LA. So what did he do? There's no way he can guarantee, like no state will guarantee him judges for every other country apart from his own. There'll always be a judge for his country, a judge for their country, one neutral judge, and the referee usually comes for the home country. That's usually as the rules. Yeah. So Tyson Fury's trying to ask for something absolutely massive as well. And even if it goes to purse bid, he'll not be able to guarantee it in purse bid. If it goes to purse bid, no matter who wins that, they'll not be able to guarantee that they can pick the judges. You can't select where the judges come from, really. It's hard to be able to do. It really is.
Do you think that's a sticking ground, Double A? Aye.
On you go, mate.
I said, do you think that's what the sticking ground is?
I've only seen a couple of interviews where, like, Frank Warren gave one interview where he said, like, we want judges for, like, none for America, none for Britain, and I've seen Ben saying it now, and I'm a major problem in it. But to ask for judges to come from neutral countries, they could put a Canadian, a Mexican, like, where do you call a border? Do they put an Irish? Can they? How far do you? Like, you start talking really about politics of boxing while you're negotiating a contract, and that's hard. I think that's a real sticking point in it. I don't think the split is much. Like, I know a lot of people think it's going to split, but Tyson Fury's thinking, look, 40% of something's worth it, because I know I beat him, I'm the better fan, I beat him, and I get the next fight, and I get all the belts back. Like, that's his plan. He's not thinking, I'll no fight him because there's no £3 million in it. I don't really think. I think getting more than 5 million if Tyson Fury says make me the fight, I'll make 5 million, I'm happy. I think that's more in his mind. He just wants to be the better man. Making the money is important, but beating him and winning that belt and then having something to go to the table with. Eddie Hearn's already said you beat Wilder, I'll give you a 50-50 split against AJ.
Yep.
He doesn't need to fight AJ now. He just needs to fight Wilder, beat Wilder. I don't know, where do you pick judges for? Like, how is he? He's never going to get that.
Well, as long as we don't have that Giuseppe Cortalone trick as the referee, I'm not going to be too bothered if they're neutral. I just don't want to see that prick ever work again. I saw him work last weekend, though.
You just want them to do their job.
Yeah.
That's all you're asking. You just want them to... It doesn't matter where they're from. Just do your job. Call the fight as you see it and call it honestly.
Yeah.
Do you not think the first ref was actually quite good? Like, did you see the behind the scenes before the fight and he was in the room with Tyson Fury, obviously giving him instructions? Did you hear his instructions to Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I did, mate.
He actually just said to Tyson Fury, look, I promise you, Tyson Fury says, all I want's a fair fight. And he said, look, you're in, I'll give you the fairest fight ever. But when I tell you to stop, you stop. When I tell you to break, you break. And if you're on the ground and get up, I'll ask you if you're alright. I will ask you to move left and right and come back to me. And Tyson Fury put his horn on him and said, God bless you. And he left the room. So see when Fury was on the ground and he was like, are you alright? Get up. And then Tyson Fury got to go left and right. He'd already said that in the dressing room before him. So I don't think the ref actually had a bad fight.
No,
I don't think the ref had a problem. I think the judging was massively well out.
There was one judge in particular that... I can't remember the score he had, but he had it way in favour of Wilder, and that was the only one that I was really upset with. I wasn't too upset with the one who scored it a draw, or the one who had it just to Fury, but, you know, if
there's a problem with that British judge giving that as a draw, because at the end of the day, like, a draw is a fight when you ask 100 people and 50 of them say one guy won and 50 the other guy won, then you say fair enough, it could have been a draw. But if you ask 100 people who won Wilder Fury and 80% of them tell you it was Fury and that judge had it as a draw, then that judging scoring's massively off. It's off by about 30%, which is wrong. Like, you can't let a guy away who gave that as a draw either.
No. We've got to take into account that...
One of the judges said that. One of the judges said that even if Wilder never got the 2 knockdowns, they still won.
Exactly.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was the British judge who gave it wide to Wilder. But,
no, it was one of the other ones. Was it not the Mexican judge that gave it wide?
Oh, it was the Mexican judge. That's right. Yeah, I remember now. To a degree, though, we've got to take into account that it was in Wilder's backyard. He's the one with the bouts. And also... shit, I forgot my third point. No, it's gone. Can't remember.
No, I don't agree, Jono, man. He lost the fight. Wilder lost the fight, man. And you just got to call it the way it is. At the end of the day, you look back at Joshua Parker. Like, you were one of the first ones to come on to say there was a wee bit of controversy with some channels. The LDBC guys were saying, "Oh, we thought it was a draw. Parker won," and you were like, "No, he didn't win."
No, he didn't.
Do you know what I mean? And it's the same way. It's the same with us as well. We'll be honest as a day. As long if I honestly thought Wilder won that fight, I would say Wilder won that fight. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of... Even though I like Tyson Fury, I'm not going to be fucking deluding myself. You know what I mean? I'm going to be as honest as I can be. Obviously, you're going to hear your wee bit of bias in that as well, but, you know, he won that fight, man. Nobody can say that he didn't win it.
Yeah, I had him winning it. I can't remember my score off the top of my head. It might have been 114, 112 or something. I scored it to Fury, something like that.
Stevie Wonder seen that Tyson Fury won that fight. At the same time, here, Dan Mac, here's a fight for you, right? You watched the Cheeseman fight at the weekend?
Sorry, mate?
Did you watch Cheeseman fighting at the weekend?
I missed that, mate.
Right. Cheeseman basically got his face punched in for 12 rounds. See if Cheeseman had knocked that guy down in the 9th round and the 12th round, I guarantee you the scorecards would have probably gave that fight as a draw. There was already did a judge not have it 1 point apart, and Cheeseman never won a round. I'm telling you, he never won a round, and a judge had it nearly a draw. So, see, at the end of the day, getting 2 knockdowns is... They 2 knockdowns, one in the 12th round. If he hadn't got that knockdown in the 12th round, Tyson Fury would have won that on the scorecards, and that would have looked even sharper. He would have just scraped that. So, I think... How do the judges need to look at it straight away? Because... No judges should have a fight anywhere near a draw.
I watched that fight and I can totally relate to your point.
You can trace this all back. I know there's been dodgy scorecards throughout boxing history. But you can really trace this back to Germany. There was a fight Robin Reed fought and got absolutely fucking robbed over in Germany. And since then, it's always went with the hometown guy, regardless of what country it's been in, whether it's the UK, whether it's the States, whether it's New Zealand, Australia. Doesn't fucking matter where it is. We've had loads and loads and loads of shocking decisions. The boy that Billy Joe Saunders was meant to fight, he got robbed after Argentinian boy. Oh fuck, his name escapes me. Was it Martin Murray?
I'm not sure.
Martin Murray.
He fought an Argentinian guy. He got robbed down there as well. I mean, he's meant to fight Billy Joe Saunders, but he got called off.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Aye.
Remember that being in the news. I didn't see the fight.
I know, but there's loads of them, man. There's loads of them. It's fucking a joke.
But how do you stop that? It's easy at domestic level, because see when you've got two British fighters fighting, I think the British Boxing Board, the control. I think the rules, it goes by counties. I think so. They have judges for certain areas, and they have a ref. The ref's always neutral, so the ref will never, like, say a fighter comes for Brixton in London, the ref will never be for that part or that area in London. He might come for another part, but usually they have a ref for like Scotland, or he'll be for Manchester, and they can have the people at the side. They can be for anywhere. So, but each place has their own rules. Like the IBF always appoint their own, or they always have a say. But some boxing, they don't. The WBO, I think, are all down to commissions. They always let the commission. Like they'll let the British Boxing. If Billy Joe defends his belt, I think they let the British Boxing Board of have control of their refs as well. So the British Boxing Board of Control will always have like a British ref in there, and then they'll appoint foreign refs. The British Boxing Board of Control, even though it's a WBO fight, I don't think the WBO will take any responsibility for refing, but the IBF will.
The only people that are getting treated as fans, and obviously, like, you get all different levels of fans that watch every single fight. I mean, I can't physically watch every single fight because of my commitments in my own life and whatnot. But I mean, I love the sport, and the only people that are going to lose out is the fans. And at the end of the day, the fans will turn around and start calling it bullshit.
Yep.
And the high that boxing's on, that'll quickly fucking evaporate, and boxing will be up its own arse again in the doldrums.
Yep, for sure.
British boxing just now is booming. Like TV wise, we've got two major sports networks in BT, Sky, and now we've got ITV, and even Channel 5 are going to have cards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we've actually got a lot of boxing. So,
but we don't want to lose all that double A, you know what I mean, with bullshit decisions.
But it's pennies, Dan. See the investment in boxing, mate. Like BT paid just for the Champions League rights for their football. So like 1.2 billion. Like they're bidding billions of pounds on football contracts, and like rugby, they're bidding hundreds of millions. Their boxing schedules, they probably give 20 million at most a year. It's pennies to them to host their own, even if they get 5 or 6 good events, and that takes up 8. You've got to remember that take up 8 hours of TV time for them, and that costs them pennies compared to showing other live sports. So boxing's like, for them, they don't really need to invest that much to make people happy. So it'll just keep growing. There's plenty of money for them to invest in it.
No, I understand that point, but what I mean is that like new people that come to the sport, if they get the impression that there's a good chance that there's going to be bullshit decisions galore, it might turn people off, and a perception gets put out there that boxing's like systematically corrupt and you're never going to get a correct decision. And we need to somehow try and eliminate that to make sure that the guy who wins the fight wins the fight, and there's no hometown decisions. Whoever wins the fight wins the fight. And there's so much, it's like what you were saying earlier, each area has their own rules and authority. I mean, boxing really needs to fucking get with the programme and have some kind of FIFA style regulatory body to make sure that we're getting a level of consistency and basically getting the right decisions so that fucking people can't turn around and say this is total bullshit. Because it'll just end up a complete farce like wrestling. You know what I mean? It really will.
I think the governing bodies should bring in some kind of penalties for judges who put out scorecards that are so far wrong everybody's moaning and bitching. It seems there's no kind of consequences for putting out a biased scorecard if you've taken a payoff or whatever, you know.
I think it's money, Jono. It's about promotional companies, it's about TV companies, the rival promoters, there's rival TV companies. We kind of need to get, I'm not saying we like cut these guys out the equation, but we need to get the right decisions and make sure the right people win the fight, and they've earned the right to win the fight. They should be going home with the belts or getting the just decision. Yeah.
The guy who wins the fight should get his hand raised, and that's supposed to be what the judges and referee are for. But in a lot of cases, it's just not happening, and it's pretty disappointing. But I guess to a degree, we do notice the bad decisions more than the ones that we don't talk about, because the right decision gets made, we don't talk about it, and the judges don't get credit pretty much. So the bad decisions do stick out like a big set of hairy dog balls.
You should never
I mean, suppose we just
right. That's their job. You shouldn't credit a ref for getting a decision right. That's their job.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they get paid for God's sake. Yeah. So should they not get paid if they make the wrong decision? Is what I'm getting at. Fuck you. Do your job or don't get paid.
Right.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
No bother.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
Okay, mate.
Right, cheers.
Have you got Google? Have you got Google in front of you right now?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know to be a boxing judge? You should go look at, I think it's Nevada State boxing. But you need to be a judge in Nevada. No boxing background at all. You need no knowledge of the sport, no knowledge of boxing or anything. You need to be a people person. You need to fit a criteria, and it's nothing to do with boxing. So that just shows you. That's how people. Have you seen the one? Was she a judge? Was there no a judge or a lawyer or something who was a judge?
Oh, I didn't see one. Yeah.
They're not in the sport. They're no people who are in the sport. Some of these people are like, you can get a license to be a judge without knowing anything about boxing. No boxing credentials at all.
Jesus Christ.
That's what's wrong.
Yeah, well, if you don't know the 4 scoring criteria for scoring boxing, and you can still get a license to be a boxing judge, that's fucking ridiculous, man. That's fucked.
You base it. It's just a 3-minute round. You base. It's basically a point system in it. Both fighters start with 10 points, and it's a 3-minute round.
Yeah, and you've got to score them on.
If somebody wins the round, it's a 10-9, and if the other person gets knocked down, it's a 10-8. Like that's how you score it. It's scored in 3 minutes. It's 12 different scores.
Yeah, and
do you think you should use an average? Do you think maybe an average? Maybe like break it down each round, so at the end of the day, if somebody wins it, like, I don't know,
that's maybe not a bad idea. Yeah, have put the average of all 3 judges' scores together, and then just have one scorecard at the end of the day with the average for every round.
The average, no, break your 12. So say you have it as a draw, and somebody else has it wide. It breaks it down, so you break each round down into 3. So if somebody's got it 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, and somebody else has got it 9-10, 9-10, they've got a different score. Each person at the end will have maybe 9.3, whereas on somebody else's, one person will have 9.8 against 9.2. So you always have it guarantees a winner, even if somebody could win by 0.5%.
Yeah,
but guaranteed you have a winner.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So the average of every round individually goes into one card, and then the total score at the end. It can't be a draw unless, one scores it one way, one scores it the other way, and one scores it a draw for every single round, which can't happen.
Then that technically is a draw. That technically would be a draw.
Yeah. But that would work. Interesting.
I'm back, guys, by the way. Sorry about that.
No worries, man. Life rules. You were getting in another set for your triathlon training, were you?
Here, mate, listen. I done fucking 50 length last night in the pool.
Good man.
And, yep. And I was doing like 400 metres. Last week, every fucker where I live in Scotland knows about this triathlon. There's 3 fucking legged dogs outside the shops that know about this triathlon. I'm telling every fucker that cockroaches know about this triathlon. You know what I mean? But last week I was doing like 400 metres in like 11:24, and last night I was doing them in 10:22. So my swimming's not that great, but it's improving, man. I'm doing like 400 metre blocks. You know what I mean? So I can just manage to swim 400 metres without stopping.
That's
so I'm doing it for scratch.
That's
I'm doing it for mountain rescue, by the way, in Scotland. So
good, man.
I'm not expecting any money for anybody. I'm raising it at my work and whatnot, but
that's pretty
it's just a wee personal goal.
That's pretty drastic improvement for a week, though. A minute plus.
Yeah.
For 400 meters. So good job.
It's because I'm shite. That's why there's dramatic improvements. I'm watching a YouTube channel called Effortless Swimming. When I'm not watching fucking Aussie Dogs, I don't know if you watch Aussie Dogs. It's this guy that commentates on like cats fighting and fucking 2 dogs getting involved and fucking there's this Australian commentating on it like it was like a boxing fight. When I'm not watching that shit, I'm watching Effortless Swimming, man. So like triathlon's like fucking took over my life at the moment, man. But it's like a proper bourgeois sport, man, and I'm like a kind of like working class type of guy, yeah. So I'm like a spare prick at a wedding.
Is it a full triathlon or half?
No, it's a novice one.
Okay, so is your swim like 500 meters or something?
No, the swim itself, the race itself is like is it 800 meters? 800 meter swim, 10-kilometer bike ride, and 5-kilometer run.
Oh yeah, cool.
No, it's a sprint. It's a sprint triathlon. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. All for a good cause. Hope you do well. And everybody who's in Scotland who knows that this triathlon's on, get down there and support Dan Mack.
Yeah, middle-aged man found dead in Scottish mountains.
Where is
I was
it?
telling my mum.
Where is this?
It's in Forfar. I was telling my mum. About it. She lives in London, AA, and she's like, have you been to the doctor? I was like, what am I going to the doctor for? She's like, because fuckers say heart attacks doing this kind of shit, man. I mean, you're no young boy anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she wants you to
Aye. No, but I'm not doing it, man. Yeah.
Hey, Keith.
Nah. Slow and steady. You know what a twin this is where you need to find a long lost twin.
That's the one. 2 of them, so you can have one for each event.
Correct records.
AA, I think it's called a fucking midlife crisis. I think that's a technical term for it.
As long as you don't buy a motorbike. As soon as you buy a motorbike, that's it, you're done.
Aye. If I was going to buy a motorbike, I'd get what Bolly Conley's got in the back of his. Too old to die young.
I want to buy a boat. I really want to buy a canal boat, but I don't think my wife's for it. But that's my plan. I want to retire on a canal boat. I want to buy it, Get going, man. Sail Britain. That's it.
Fancy cricket. Alright, should we have a quick listen to this article from Deontay Wilder about Anthony Joshua? And we'll do some comments after we've listened to it. So here we go.
Wilder, Joshua is trying to milk the UK. After next fight I'm ready. WBC heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder, 40-1, 39 KOs, is very motivated to become the driving force to bring boxing back in a major way. He believes the heavyweight division has been exploding in recent years, and because of that the entire sport has been elevated after declining in popularity for quite some time. I want to bring it back to the golden days of boxing, Wilder said to the Star Telegram. It has not been back since 2004 with Lennox Lewis. Everyone knows that as the heavyweight division goes, so goes boxing. Back in December, Wilder fought Tyson Fury to a controversial 12-round split draw at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. The two are now in serious talks to finalize a deal for a rematch in the coming months. We still have a bit more to go, but the fight is definitely going to happen, Wilder said of his rematch with Fury. It should be announced very, very soon. The only reason it would not is if their side backs out. As of today, everything is 100% ready to go.
I can't hear it.
The
Can you
biggest
hear
fight
me,
in the
Double A?
sport at the moment is a unification.
I just jumped up, but I.
Alright, man,
Jono.
it's gone. I stopped it. Yeah, he's pretty much saying that he's up for the fight once he beats Tyson Fury. He's going back to, I want to be undisputed. The only way the fight won't happen is if Joshua's team back out. I mean, it's all shit we've heard before, to me, pretty much. Totally ignoring Eddie Hearn while they're trying to make this fight doesn't start with good communications and good relations between the teams for negotiations once they can actually start. So, I don't know. To me, it just sounds like a whole lot of salesman pitch. Whether they're serious or not, I don't know, man. What do you guys reckon?
Fight. He needs to sell his own fight. He needs to sell him and Tyson Fury. He needs to, like, you got as soon as him and Tyson Fury finished, everybody knew that was a rematch. Like, everybody knew that was a rematch as soon as they call it a draw. So Eddie Hearn throwing offers at the two of them was pointless. He knew they weren't going to take them. They knew they were getting a rematch. And as soon as Eddie Hearn started making offers, the WBC ordered it. So, like, they know they're going to fight each other first, and then the winner's going to fight Joshua, and probably the loser will fight Joshua. So they're no bothered. Like, both of them's going to have to fight Joshua eventually. The three, whether they've got belts or no, they're fighting Joshua.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
a bit of shambles, if you ask me, to be honest with you, man. Ultimately, the fight that I want to see is Fury against Joshua. That's the one that I want to see. Everybody can talk about Wilder v Joshua, but I want to see Fury Joshua. And hopefully Tyson does the business against Wilder, and we get that Fury Joshua showdown. Because that would be like the biggest fight in probably the biggest fight in British boxing history. I couldn't think off the top of my head a bigger fight than Joshua v Fury. That would be absolutely massive in the UK. Because I don't think Wilder's is a bigger star is what people are making out. They're saying maybe like Wilder Joshua is bigger internationally. I don't know if it is. I think Joshua Fury's bigger internationally. I think Fury sold that Wilder fight. To me, like, Fury's the A side in the rematch against Wilder. Wilder's lucky to even have his fucking belt. To be honest with you, so I don't know how it's all going to play out. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, what Double A was saying there, Eddie Hearn chancing his luck. Maybe he was chancing his luck, knowing that these guys are going to have a rematch. But hopefully, after this fight, the winner takes on Joshua, because I don't think we could stomach 2-3 Wilder v Fury. It needs to. Joshua's a big player. He's got to be recognised, and hopefully the winner fights Joshua next. That's what I'd love to see, and hopefully that's Fury.
But Eddie Hearn's already guaranteed Tyson Fury a 50-50 split against AJ if he beats Wilder. Now that's your incentive, innit? Your incentive isn't to fight AJ for a 60-40 split, which he's offering you. It's beat Wilder and then get a 50-50 against AJ.
I kind of like to. If we talk,
I think that's right though. Double A, because I think like even though, look, listen, I'm not taking away from Josh. You've got to recognise he's a commercial juggernaut, but you've got to take into account that Tyson Fury can sell a fight. You know what I mean? He can sell a fight. He can sell a fight as good as anybody can sell a fight. Even guys lower down like Dillian Whyte can sell a fight. And that's got to be recognised as well. And if he beats Wilder and gets his hands on that WBC belt, then I think 50-50. I mean, both of them are going to make a fucking shitload of money, man. I mean, they're not going to be short of a few quid. I mean, Joshua's not short of a few quid. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's right to hold his A-side status in some fights, possibly against Wilder and whatnot, but against Fury, both of them are going to make a fucking shed load of money, man. Just get the fight done. Just get it made, I mean.
I think I would haunt. See if Fury took. See, I know AJ had made the offer. Fury could have took that offer. I'm sure at some point Eddie Hearn got in contact before that fight was ordered and offered him money. He could have quickly negotiated and made that fight. But I think that would have haunt. Do you imagine if he took a fight to fight AJ and he was fighting AJ on the 13th of April and something happened to Wilder went out and fought, or Wilder got beat? That would haunt Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury wouldn't be able to live with himself having a draw against a guy and no giving him a rematch. That would haunt him. Like,
You know, I'd kind of like to wind back a little bit, because if it was all about money, Tyson Fury wouldn't donate his purse. Now, did he actually donate his purse from that last fight like he said he was going to?
Don't know, man.
I had somebody...
He said he was, and Tyson's a pretty earnest type of guy, man, so I would suspect that he would have donated a substantial portion of it.
I did
Jono,
have someone...
Jono,
Yo.
the Furies, Tyson Fury wasn't born in a caravan surrounded by mud, mate. Tyson Fury was born into richness. Tyson Fury was a millionaire as soon as he turned pro. Money he is obviously you're fighting for the most money, but you're fighting as a prize fighter. He is a prize fighter, but you still want to be the best in the world. Like, money. I know a lot of people, it is important, but you don't want another person. See if it's a 50-50 split, and there's Tyson Fury would rather have a 50-50 split for less money against a guy than a 60-40 split with a guy who's got the advantage on him, he'd be in the A side. That would, like, it would take less money for a 50-50 split, probably, just to be equal, not to have anybody above him. It's important for him, for somebody to be above him.
Yeah,
so it's hard.
I think
like, it would kill him.
If Tyson's born into money somewhat like you say, I think it's pretty legitimate for him to be fighting for more glory or legacy than money, but I'm sure money does matter somewhat as well, to a degree. He wants to set his family up forever. But yeah, I was just wondering, had anybody seen anything to suggest that Tyson Fury did donate his purse? I did have someone drop a link to me yesterday saying that he did donate $7 million. I don't know who I didn't look into the link or anything like that. I was just scrolled over and didn't think much of it at the time. So it brings me back to this negotiation. Possibly the money isn't what they're arguing about. More likely the judges and the officials, like Double A was talking about earlier, is probably the sticking points. But yeah.
What fight do you want to see, Jono?
I want to see Undisputed as my main desire, but as a boxing fan, the two styles that I want to see match up, I want to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua at this stage. But a lot will depend on whether Wilder beats Fury or not. If Wilder beats Fury, I want to see Wilder Joshua. But yeah, I like all of the fights at the same time because they're all top tier fights. Even Miller versus Joshua is one that I want to see because I don't know how Joshua is going to handle that continual pressure, or whether Miller's going to be able to bring that continual pressure, getting his head jabbed off. Who knows? You know, a lot of unknowns, and I want to find out. So there's plenty to be done. And there was one other fight I wanted to get into a discussion with you guys about, is the Pulev versus Helenius fight. I think it could be a bit more interesting than a lot of people think, but I'd like to get your guys' opinions on it. What do you reckon, Dan Mac?
Oh, I think Helenius is done. I think you've seen a shadow with the guy that was... I mean, even going back to the Chisora fight, I mean, he got a fucking lucky gift there, man, because Chisora beat him, in my opinion. The guy's fucked. He's injured to death, basically. He's a shadow of his former self, and in my mind, Pulev's half decent. You know what I mean? He's not. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he's half decent. He's no a mug. He's got one of the best jabs in the business, and I would expect Pulev to beat Helenius. This version of Helenius. Helenius is he's done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, it had been found out that Robert Helenius had a lung disease from late 2015, and it wasn't picked up until 2018, so that had played a big part in why he was gassing in fights. But
he was fighting in small shows in Estonia and all that for money.
Yeah, I see he fought the same guy twice. He only beat him by split decision once, and then beat him by unanimous decision the second time around. I can't remember the guy's name. Someone Bakotsu or something his name was.
Because I thought, see, in my opinion, Jono, I think Joshua should fight Pulev rather than Muller, because Pulev apparently has got that IBF spot, and that's a potential roadblock down the line, and I think that should be getting taken care of ASAP rather than going fighting a voluntary against a guy who's no earned it. At least, I'm not saying like obviously like Muller will be popular with like casual boxing fans because he talks really well and whatnot, but the people who follow boxing in a bit more depth, they recognise that Pulev's a half decent fighter, and he's jabbing that could cause Joshua some problems. But I expect Joshua would beat Pulev at the end of the day. But I would rather let's see Joshua fight Pulev just to get that IBF Mando done and dusted, and clear away any potential roadblocks, because the IBF are pretty strict, and as soon as they call that Mando, that could potentially scupper a fight between Joshua Fury, Joshua Wilder. So I'd like to see them getting that done and dusted, basically, rather than going on this fucking clown fest over to New York to fight Muller. Because I don't know, man. I don't rate Muller, to be honest with you, man. I think Joshua will fucking spark him out in about 5 or 6 rounds.
Fair enough.
MD who's using their face as a fucking defence is not going to last too long. That somebody like Joshua can land a fucking pulverising right hand, and maybe he'll suck up 2 or 3 of them. But you know what I mean. If they continuously land throughout the fight, man, he's going to start feeling the effects of that.
Fair enough. We'll get a bit more into that a little bit down the track. Just one final piece there. If Helenius comes into the ring uninjured and in great shape, do you think he's got a chance against Pulev, Dan Mick?
I think Pulev's better, to be honest with you. That's just my own honest opinion. I think Pulev's half decent. I put Pulev in a half decent. You know what I mean? I think he's a half decent boxer. I think most fans that follow the heavyweights would say that Pulev's a half decent fighter.
Yep.
Whereas Helenius, he's fallen off. I mean, since that controversial decision against Derek Chisora, he's kind of like just fucking went downhill ever since.
Fair enough. Alright, we'll get your take on that fight, Double A. What do you reckon, mate?
I think Pulev will win it, but right, can I ask a question? How much better is Huey Fury than Erkin Tepper? Really? How much better is Huey Fury?
Well, judging off his last performance, not a long shot.
What about judging off his last 2 performances?
What was his fight before that? Was his fight before that Parker?
Yep.
Sexton.
Oh, Sexton, that's right.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Huey Fury, sorry.
Aye, well, so that's what I mean, like Huey Fury was cut against Pulev, pretty bad cut, and he was pretty much running away from him. Pulev didn't even pounce on him and hurt him or anything. You see, Pulev's not going to be able to go out and start jabbing a guy who's Helenius' size like that. He's not going to. Pulev needs to learn how to get in there and try to finish fights while he's old. Like, he really needs to find that killer instinct. Against Huey Fury, he should have been pouncing on him.
He needs more than that jab, doesn't he? I mean, the jab's great and all, but he needs more than just the jab, to me, to kick it at the best level.
Like, Helenius will come out fighting. Like, I watched him against Takam and I think he was good. Like, I'm not saying he's an elite boxer, but like, if Pulev goes in there and tries to like take it 7 or 8 rounds. I think Helenius, by the time it goes to 5 rounds, will put his hands up and start throwing big punches.
No, we mustn't forget, Helenius has got a pretty decent jab as well. I mean, it's not that fast, but it's a long jab, and he knows how to stick it like a sledgehammer. So, I think it's a closer fight than what we think. I think Helenius hits a hell of a lot harder than Pulev as well.
I think that's a crazy fight for Pulev. For Pulev to take, I know people are going to say Helenius isn't dangerous, but for Pulev to take a fight like that when he knows he's IBF mandatory it's quite a. He really should have been looking at idiots, knocking on bin men until that's time to fight AJ and get that money.
Yeah, well, with his attitude being so reluctant to take a title shot without 4 months to prepare, I think it is crazy that he's taking this Helenius fight, because if Helenius is in the best condition he can be in and he's not injured, he's fucking dangerous as far as I can see to pretty much anybody. It only takes one. I mean, see the left hook that he put Tepper out with, that'd knock just about anybody out. So Pulev's going to have to be careful, unless he knows something that we don't know, unless there's an injury or, you know, something behind the scenes that Pulev knows about that we don't. I think it's a crazy fight for him, but I'm still interested to watch it. I'm still going to pick Pulev, probably on points, but interesting.
I think we're a long way from Undisputed. Let's take that, because if AJ doesn't fight till June, then he's no fight until right the end of the year, you know.
Yeah, it'll be 2 fights this year, unless it's an undisputed fight, which we must remember the IBF are strict on their rules, but they will make way for an undisputed fight if it comes to fruition. But
another problem could be also is that if Tyson does beat Wilder, then there could be another rematch there.
There will be
as well.
There will be,
and that kind of hangs out a wee bit.
I saw a video
I think mostly it's just. I just want to see undisputed between Fury and Joshua. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
I did see someone talking about with rematches and whatnot. It's potentially going to be drawn out to a 4-fight, catch between Wilder and Fury, because the draw happened first. So, I mean, we're going to be sick of Wilder and Fury by the time the saga's finished if it goes that far. But fingers crossed. We're probably going to see the next fight and then one more, and that'll be it, hopefully. I think whoever wins this next one is going to win the next one after that as well, and then it'll be done and dusted. But what do you reckon on that, Double A?
I don't know. It depends if they put a rematch in it. I know everybody says it's a rematch, but I don't think Tyson Fury will want to put a rematch in that. Last time it was a voluntary. I think you don't really have an option, but I think no. I think with it being a mandated fight, I don't know if he could force that and say, look, I don't want you don't put a rematch in that. It doesn't need to be in it.
Yeah.
So he could get away with it. So this fight could be it. We'll see though. Who knows? They could be negotiating. They could be arguing now about the rematch. They could already be arguing about the rematch. Not even the split. They could be arguing about judges in a rematch now. That's how far down these people will be talking.
Yeah, I can certainly understand the logic of Tyson not wanting a rematch clause in there, because he's already fought him, and as far as he's concerned, he's already beaten him once. So, yeah.
But see, the thing is, Donald, that Tyson's a really smart guy, and he knows, and he's on a high now in the UK, and he knows that he can't just like continuously fight Wilder in rematches and whatnot. He knows what the UK boxing fans want to see, and he wants that fight, and Joshua wants that fight. That's the fight that everybody wants to see. So it's up to Tyson to just take care of business and dispatch Wilder and go on to the Joshua fight, because that's the fight that we're all craving for. Obviously Wilder's dangerous because he's got serious power, but you know, I believe that, you know, Tyson was nowhere near his best when he fought Wilder last time. Obviously, you know, Wilder's going to learn a bit as well. But Tyson's just on another level, in my opinion. And I really hope that he wins that fight and sets up the Joshua fight, because that's what everybody's pining for, in the UK wise.
Alright guys, here's one for you. Shelley Finkel and a lot of the Wilder fan base are all saying that Tyson Fury was at his best for that first
No, he
fight.
wasn't.
Now,
that's fucking bullshit.
yeah, I'm thinking, where is the logic behind this? What's making these guys say that Tyson Fury was at his best? He wasn't in perfect shape, for starters. You could tell he didn't have enough energy to do the damage later on in the fight that he could have done in the first half. He'd had one fight at 258 pounds 4 months beforehand. He'd only lost 2 pounds, but worked on conditioning before that fight. Where is the logic? Do you think there's anything to suggest that Tyson Fury was at his best in that fight?
We've never seen him at his best ever. I'll be honest with you, right? I am a Tyson Fury fanboy. I've followed him from the beginning. I'll back Tyson Fury against the devil. But I'm telling you now, Tyson Fury he's never... See the training camp he had for Wilder? That's the best training camp he's ever had in his life. He's never trained for... Tyson Fury's never trained for more than 10 weeks solid. Surely, even against Klitschko, he might... Saying that against Klitschko, he probably put in a camp, but before Klitschko, like the fight before Klitschko, Hammer, let's say Tyson Fury's he's not an athlete. He's never been an athlete. He's never. He'll go into a 12-week training camp and probably train for 8 weeks of that. So he's actually knuckled down and done like a full year's training camp. So he's probably in a better place. His body's probably stronger than it's ever been, and he's physically in a better place. But he's carrying a lot of weight. He needs to shift. But I don't think Tyson Fury's ever been anywhere near as good as he could be, possibly, if he actually sticks at it. Because he's turned up with been in 8-week training camps and turned up looking like he's just came at the pub. Like, that's the way he does it. He doesn't take it seriously, and now he takes it seriously. He's definite against Wilder. He was definite, and I think he had probably done a full 2 months solid, like a proper training camp for 2 months, which is a lot for Tyson Fury. He would have been training in between that, but he was doing helicopter rides and resting in Big Bear for days at a time. Once he does full training camps, he'll be a much better person.
I've just put a picture up on the stream of a recent picture of Tyson Fury doing an interview on TV, and it's got a TV screen with his face next to him. And a lot of people were saying that he looks gaunt now. He certainly looks a hell of a lot slimmer than he was when he fought Deontay Wilder the first time around. And I've kind of gone and compared these photos to photos just before the Vladimir Klitschko fight, and he looks. Yo,
see if you go on your YouTube, then you type in Tyson Fury wheelchair basketball. Last week he was playing wheelchair basketball, him and his son, with Lancaster Thunder, and there he is. That's him last week playing wheelchair. He gets out the chair and that he looks super gone. It's a live video of him playing basketball last week.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go and find it. Photo.
No Fear on Wheels, he's called. That's the name of the guy. He's an ambassador for MTK.
Where did you say it was on? YouTube?
On YouTube. Just put in Tyson Fury wheelchair basketball and you'll find him.
See what I've got.
He looks super thin.
Yeah, he looks super thin in the picture that I've got up on screen now as well, but
I
don't know if I
found the video.
Don't know if I'd quite call him gaunt, but I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure he hasn't been concentrating on weight loss. It's just been training really hard. Maybe he needs to hit some more weights and check his diet. I don't really want to see him in the ring against Deontay Wilder at 230 pounds. That's too light for a 6'8" guy. Give me a sec here.
But he's still a young guy, Tyson Fury. He's only 30-year-old.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still young. He's younger than Dillian Whyte still, isn't he? So, we had the same time out as Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte had 2 years out and he had 2 years out, so.
Alright, I found this basketball video. I'll just find a frame where I can freeze it. And we'll get that up on screen. Oh, he does look a little bit skinny, doesn't he? Number 18. Where's a frame that's good?
And that was last week, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury's not being on social media." No, he's just not been on his social media. He's still on social media. Like, I follow that guy, the guy in the wheelchair he's playing with. So he was with Tyson Fury for a few days last week.
Okay, I'll get it up on
screen. See if I'm being honest with you, Double A. See, the only guy, like, see Fury comes in tremendous shape. There's only one guy that could possibly beat him, and it's no Wilder. There's only one guy that's got a chance of beating him, and I reckon that would be Joshua. But I can't see it. I think Fury beats Joshua. But if MD could beat Fury in full flight, I think it would be Joshua.
Do you know what I think Fury's biggest worry than who would be? Honestly, would be Usyk. Fury.
So.
No, that's it's easy. It's easy if you're a boxer against somebody who's a puncher. Tyson Fury's got that down to a T. It's bread and butter for him. Like, it really is. And unless you're a Tyson Fury boxes like he's an Olympic athlete. He's never been to Commonwealth Games or won an Olympic gold. But he's got boxing skills that are against the kind of people. So anybody who tries to go with 1-2s and try and beat him to a jab or that, you've got no chance. But Usyk's got a real good chance. That's a fight I would love to watch.
Hey, what do you guys reckon of Dillian?
I don't know, mate. I don't know if Usyk's got the size, the length to cause Fury the problems just because of Tyson's reach and whatnot.
Feet, mate.
Because he's going to be a huge disadvantage.
See if you've got the feet. It doesn't matter about your reach. It doesn't matter about your height. See if you can get in and out. If you can get in and out, then the distance. If you can close distance, the way Usyk can close distance is unbelievable. Like, his feet, the way he pivots on his feet, it's Ukrainian dancing and everything. See when you're doing that as a kid, like that would be a real good fight. I'd like to see that, but I don't know. AJ saying that AJ could catch him. Wilder could catch him and knock him clean out. Like, he has vulnerable.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But I think everybody's got a puncher's chance against Tyson Fury. Nobody outboxes Tyson Fury really. So Usyk could outbox him. So I'd like.
What do you guys?
But it's the same only concern about Usyk, Double A, is that you did see distress signs when he fought Gassiev when Gassiev was going to the body. You did see some distress signs there when Gassiev did mix it up and started going to the body, and you're thinking like somebody like heavyweight, a good body shot could cause him severe problems. You know what I mean? Just because of the size and the bulk and whatnot. But in terms of his boxing ability, it's just off the radar. I'm just a wee bit concerned that these guys might be biting off more than they can chew.
It's about step up fights for him, innit? Because, like, let's be honest, even though he did look at Tony Bellew as a step up, like, it's somebody else who is a bit of a puncher kind of thing. So, like, Usyk's, I really wanted him to fight AJ straight away. I wanted him called up in April because I had a bet on him to win the World Series and then be heavyweight champion before December 2019. But I can't see that happening now. But
hey guys, there's
a good step up.
There's a few people giving Ben Davison shit in the chat. What do you think of him as a coach? You want to go first, Double A?
I don't know. He's only really. He's got Tyson, he's got Isaac Lowe, and he done Billy Joe for a fight, didn't he? So,
yep.
No, Isaac Lowe won the WBC silver belt, well, international silver with him. Tyson Fury's had a few good fights with him. Seems alright. Billy Joe, you can't really blame him. Billy Joe turned up in dreadful shape. That was up in Paisley. Was it Paisley? No, it was in Scotstoun, I think. That's where it ended up, in a fucking sports centre.
Yeah.
You can't.
I think you're right. First time around Double A was Paisley.
Paisley was in the lagoon or something.
But these elite guys, they've got their trainer. They're supposed to have a strength and conditioning coach as well, and that's.
He's 27. He's only 27-year-old.
Who, Ben Davison? I thought he's
Ben
only
Davison's 20.
thought he's only 24.
Oh, I thought he's 27, is he? Is he
Oh.
only 24?
No, he's a bit younger. He's a bit younger than that double AI. He's
Wow.
quite a young guy.
That's what I mean. Wow.
I don't think it's the boxing though. Double A. I think they just got on, and he's a strength and conditioning coach.
No,
Uh,
the strength and conditioning coach. You should Google this guy as well. Christian Blackstock. That's the strength and conditioning coach. There's an actual guy who works with Tyson Fury all the way through Tyson Fury doing ketosis and that. It's called Christian Blackstock. There's Tom Alcock, that's the cook. Tyson Fury's surrounded by a team of people for the day he started. Tim Alcock's the cook. You've got Greg, the nutritionist, who worked with Kell Brook and stuff. He's got a nutritionist, a strength and conditioning coach, and a chef with him all the time. Like Ben Davison's there as well, but there's other people there constantly with Tyson Fury. So Ben Davis, they have that at that young age. He's got everything, and he's not made a mistake. Yeah. What are they saying? He's wrong. How can they badmouth Ben Davison? What are they?
Well, pretty much, I think a lot of people reckon that Ben Davison is not aggressive enough as a coach. You know, he's too calm and collected, and he's focused on defense too much, maybe. And this is maybe where the clash comes between him and Freddie Roach when they're in the corners. And, you know, Freddie's come out and said that if Fury was more aggressive, he could have stopped Wilder, which is a high possibility. But, you know, at the same time...
Did you see Freddie Roach's comments where he said he gave the same instructions to the young boy who was fighting on the undercard as he did to Tyson Fury?
Pretty much, yeah.
Aye, that young boy won by knockout.
There you go.
That young boy who was giving instructions. Aye, it's Isaac Law. His name's Isaac Law.
Yeah.
He knocked the guy out. So if you're giving instructions to a guy and he knocks a guy out, and you're giving instructions to a guy and he's boxing, then that is a bit of a problem, I suppose. But that other guy never went out and won on points or that. Like, he never jabbed the head off the guy like Tyson Fury did. He went out there and knocked the guy clean out.
Well, you've got to take into account Tyson Fury's style as well. You know, he's a defensive master pretty much, isn't he, compared to most boxers. He's not overly aggressive, and when he has been overly aggressive, he's been put on his ass. So I guess it's a case of finding a middle ground there somewhere, where you don't take too much risk with too much aggression, but you're still aggressive enough to get the job done with authority. And I think with the performance from last time, Tyson Fury's going to have more confidence if he's in better shape to be able to do the job for longer. So I'm guessing we're probably still going to see Freddie Roach second man in the corner behind Ben Davison there again, and if they can find a happy medium, I think it's quite possible Wilder can stop Fury can stop Wilder second time round. But
the thing is, John, it's alright these guys making these comments, and we're all making these comments with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because, like, if only we knew that Wilder would have been there for the taking. Well, you didn't know that until you actually watched the fight, and you saw that it was there for the taking. So it's alright saying it the benefit of hindsight, but you know, I didn't agree with what Freddie Roach did, but I do agree with what he said, just not how he went about it. And if there would have been a bit more aggression, then yeah, Tyson could have possibly knocked Wilder out, but it's easy to say that after the event.
Yeah, well, with that hindsight, yeah, we have that benefit. But you know, if Tyson had been more aggressive, maybe he would have gassed, and maybe he wouldn't have been able to hold his hands up and defend himself. Maybe he would have got knocked clean out. You know, we're never going to know. So I don't know. I think Ben Davison's an okay coach. He's young, not that much experienced at elite level, but surely he's learning, and he's definitely got Tyson Fury's trust. They've got a good connection there, so that helps. But I think having Freddie Roach there as well is of benefit.
He's quite a calm guy as well, though, that Ben Davison. He's really calm.
He is. He doesn't panic. And he's getting better in front of cameras and all that as well. So, you know, he's coming along. Give the dude a chance. And I think he could do some real damage with a lot of different fighters in his career. I mean, he's got 7 years younger or 6 years younger than Tyson Fury. So yeah, give the dude a chance. I think he's not doing any damage to Tyson as far as I'm concerned.
And they got on really well, so
Yeah,
it's all positive.
definitely. We didn't.
What about the?
Where you go?
I don't want to run your show, man, but I thought you might have mentioned the potential matchup with Joseph Parker and whatnot.
Yeah, we sort of started touching on that just before you jumped on. Joseph Parker's being talked about to face Derek Chisora, possibly on the Dillian Whyte undercard on the 20th of April. Haven't heard much down here in New Zealand, but at Joseph Parker's last fight and post-fight interviews, he was talking about possibly fighting the winner or the loser of Chisora versus Whyte. So, as far as I can tell, is probably looking to fight Chisora on that undercard, and I think it's a pretty decent rebuild fight for Joseph Parker. I'd expect him to win it. I don't think he'd win it easily or anything, because Derek Chisora comes to fight, and if he comes in the shape that he came in against Whyte, it could be a good damn fight, but it's a possibility. He's been softened up a bit with that spectacular knockout. Maybe it'd be an easier job than Dillian had with him. I don't know. What do you guys reckon on that one? You want to start, Dan?
I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight, man. I like Del Boy. I like Parker as well, man. I think it'd be a really good fight. Interesting fight. I don't think it's an easy night's work for Parker by any stretch of the imagination. Even though Chisora's lost a few fights, he's losing against guys that are the higher echelons of the sport, and he's knocked off a good few wins himself. He's not an easy night's work for anybody. If he comes in the shape that he came in against Dillian Whyte, then he could cause Parker problems with the pressure that he puts on. But I would expect Parker to come out on top, but it's certainly not an easy fight. But it's a tremendous opportunity for Parker to get himself right back into the mix. So hopefully that both parties are pretty realistic about the purses and the sums of money that they're looking for, because it's a tremendous opportunity for both sides to get bigger fights in the future. So I would love to see it. It's a cracking fight, and for an undercard fight, and if they can get the Lucas Brown, Dave Allen, Dillian Whyte, Brazil or Povetkin, that seems to be the rumour that's kicking around. That looks like a half decent card. So yeah, defo, man, I'm all for it. I'd love to see that fight. But I don't think it's an easy fight. I certainly don't think Chisora's an easy night's work. There's no many people that have knocked out Derek Chisora. He's walked into a Dillian Whyte left hook and a pumped David Hay in his prime. But other than that, okay, quitting the second fight against Tyson, well, Don Charles pulled him out in the second fight against Tyson Fury. But everybody knows Chisora's half decent, man. He's no mug. He gets slagged off to death, but I've always thought that Derek Chisora's a half decent fighter, man, and a guy that kind of gets maligned quite a lot with a lot of boxing fans. But he's a decent fighter. I've even heard you say, Jono, backing Chisora up sometimes, and guys in the chat have been really critical about him. You know what I mean? You've got to look at the caliber opponent that he's lost against. You know what I mean? You've got to weigh it all up. You know what I mean? He's a decent fighter, man, and he's a problem for anybody. He's not an easy night's work. That is certainly not a gimme. And if Parker goes in there below par, he's in trouble.
I can definitely agree with that. What do you reckon, Double A?
That'd be a good fight. I honestly, I think Povetkin versus Whyte. I think that's more realistic than Brazil. Like, I can't see after hearing. Like, let's be honest, Dillian Whyte just knocked back £5 million to fight Joshua. But the first offer he said was $2 million, then he doubled it to 4. And he got $2 million for fighting Chisora. So if he can make $2 million fighting Povetkin, maybe a bit more, like Povetkin will make $1 million and a bit, pass some money down. Everybody will get paid. Dillian Whyte will be happy. Povetkin's a good name. Then maybe Parker beats Chisora, he'll fight Parker in a rematch.
Yeah, if he can't get a title shot immediately, that's definitely a fight that I'd really want to see again. But you know, that's probably my Kiwi bias, looking for a bit of revenge there. But
let's be honest, but Dillian Whyte's never. Who's going to give Dillian Whyte a title shot? The WBO when they call Armando. That's what he'll be waiting on. That's his only. The IBF already. He could have been waiting on it instead of Pulev if he'd have just took that money and fought Pulev. So,
I'm interested.
Say bonus with Double A. I can't believe you knocked back $5 million to fight Joshua. I think that's fucking extraordinary.
But there you go, mate. See if you're Dillian Whyte and you just knocked back $5 million to fight Joshua, and now you can fight on a pay-per-view, headline it and make $2 million, and then you fight another one before the end of the year and you make another. That's you made the Joshua money back as the A side in 2 fights against people who are on the Joshua, and then the Mando comes up and then you guarantee why fight Joshua the new and lose your pay-per-view when you can fight the pay-per-views, wait till your Mando and then make that money versus Joshua. He's going to make more. He'll make more before he fights Joshua as a Mando than he would have made fighting Joshua.
Yeah, but Double A, you must have the same concerns that I've got about Dillian Whyte. Look, listen, like Jono, everybody thinks I just hate on Dillian Whyte. I don't hate on the guy. I respect the guy. I think he's got tremendous heart.
Channel. I made a hate video. I actually made a hate video on Dillian Whyte. Why I'm disgusted that Dillian Whyte was actually ranked. Like, his rankings are dreadful. Like how he got to the top. His rise to the top is laughable. Like, you wet your frillies watching that.
Nothing different to Jarrell Miller though, is it really?
That's what I mean though. Like, look, Conor Ben. You've got Conor Ben and Josh Kelly both ranked. Ted Cheeseman was ranked by the WBA, for fuck's sake. Like, you've got people who haven't even fought at European level now who are top 10 ranked world fighters be governing bodies.
Yeah.
Aye, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't go that far, man. I think like the Parker one kind of.
No, but before that, Dan, you got to remember he fought Parker. He already had that silver belt. He won that against Helenius. Before he fought against Helenius, he actually got beat off of Joshua. Fought Baccaran, Dave Allen, and Ian Lewison, and he became number 2 ranked in the WBC, beating who? Dave Allen and Ian Lewison. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. That's really mental.
Then he went life and death with Chisora.
The first time.
He was ranked above Chisora when he fought Chisora. He was ranked above Chisora with the WBC.
Yeah, but see, the point I was going to go on to, Double A, the point I was going to go on to is that I reckon Povetkin would beat Dillian Whyte. I'm not being funny, man, but Povetkin, in my opinion, is a much better boxer than Dillian Whyte, and obviously he's knocking on a bit now. He's about 38 or whatever he is, but in my opinion, on the eye, Povetkin's a lot better than Dillian Whyte, and for me, that is a tall order for Dillian Whyte to beat Povetkin, because he doesn't have many advantages over Povetkin. Obviously, he's got a long reach, but the physicality aspect, both of them are a similar size. That's a tough fight for Dillian Whyte, in my opinion, and I'd be surprised if he pulled that off. I think if they can get that Brazil fight, that's a fight that I think he can win, and he's got a good chance of winning. And I think
he dropped off.
I don't think they can afford that Brazil fight.
Yeah,
they'll have to pay Brazil. They'll have to pay Brazil the same money as they paid Martin, really, even though he's not got a belt.
Quite possibly.
It's going to do the same pay-per-view buys. When Joshua fought against Martin, it done 500,000 pay-per-view buys. So if Martin was able to get that out of that pay-per-view buys, there's no way that the people who are managing Dominic Brazil are only going to say, well, it's got to do 500 pay-per-view buys and he got that. So we know what's in the pot.
There is something else to take into consideration too. Alexander Povetkin has been in talks with Alexander Usyk's team for a fight between them potentially, so he may be out of the picture, but I guess it'll depend on how much money is going to be offered to Povetkin from Whyte. Maybe money will be a factor, because a fight against Usyk, possibly in Europe or even in the States on DAZN, could pay pretty well for Povetkin. So there's a few sticking points for an opponent for Dillian Whyte. Hopefully it's not going to get to 2 weeks out and he's going to get stuffed with a shit opponent like he has done sometimes in the past.
How many weeks is it though? Because this has to be a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This is
If it's
like
paid.
this is only, you're talking 10 weeks till it goes and you've not got an opponent for a pay-per-view.
But they're going to have to sort something out in the next week or two, big time.
That's how I think you probably. I think Povetkin will take that. I think Povetkin wants to fight in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be good. We'll see. But I don't know. See, after hearing the figures, after hearing Eddie Hearn and them coming out and telling you how much you got for the first fight against Chisora, then you know how much is in the pot for a $500,000 pay-per-view buys.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they sold that at Showtime because DAZN never bid. DAZN never bid enough money, so they sold it at Showtime instead. So they know exactly what's in the pot. Do you know what I mean? Everybody knows now, unless all of a sudden when the next time they make that many pay-per-views that there's double the amount of money, then you know how much is in the pot.
Yeah. Interesting situation. It'll all come out in the wash though. As you can see, the one on screen, I think Dominic Brazil is the least risk with the highest reward. That's the one they should be trying to get. Whether they'll get it or not, price is going to matter. We'll soon see. But I'm hoping to see all those guys on that card, plus Michael Hunter and Carlos Takam as well.
But you don't fight Dillian Whyte. Like, when did Brazil got made Mando? When Wilder was meant to fight against Ortiz and got popped, and then he fought Stavern as the Mando. Remember, that's when Brazil became Mando. Yeah. That's when Brazil got his first contract that said you'll be Mando. You need to fight a final eliminator, and you'll be Mando. So since then, Dillian Whyte should have been chasing Brazil all that time, and he's not done it. And now with 10 weeks till a fight, he's going to try and chase the guy. He's crazy.
I did see not long after he beat Eric Molina, Eddie Hearn had talked about approaching Dominic Brazil to fight Dillian Whyte, but apparently he wanted silly money, which was to be expected if he's mandatory. So it was talked about, but it was a fart in the wind pretty much. Whether Eddie's realistically going to fork out enough to get Brazil now, because he'll probably still want at least $4 million to take that fight. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm sure with all these figures coming out and being made public that we're probably going to get to find out. If the fight doesn't get made, we'll find out what Brazil wanted one way or another. So interesting indeed. Luis Ortiz has come out and said that he's available if Jarrell Miller doesn't work out for Anthony Joshua. So even though he's got a fight scheduled with Christian Hammer, he's there if Miller has to pull out for injury or whatever. So speculation that Luis Ortiz wouldn't take a fight with Dillian Whyte because he's busy, that's gone out the window as well, because Ortiz is willing to quick turn around to fight anybody. So
let's and then especially see how much he's made. Like, he made 375 grand fighting on that Tyson Fury undercard, didn't he? Like, he's happy to just, if he can make $500,000 a year, he'll just plod along like that until he gets a shot at somebody who's going to give him a few million.
Yeah, he's not the most marketable guy, so why not take what you can get, especially if you're going to get it frequently too.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
but you got to admit, Anthony Joshua versus Miller. Honestly, see after Miller pulling him up at that press conference, like I know people will say no, never, but I'll send you the video if you don't believe me. I swear to God, Jarrell Miller was shouting at Anthony Joshua, was shouting, "I'm going to take your mum to dinner," and Anthony Joshua went into a cupboard, and he was in a cupboard. They said it was a toilet, but it was a cupboard in that hall. And Eddie Hearn, like, I'm telling you, man, he is going to get inside Joshua's head so much. Jarrell Miller will sell that fight. That should be pay-per-view in America, man.
It will be. Well, no, it'll be on DAZN, won't it?
It's on DAZN, aye. But Jarrell Miller will sell that. Like, he'll do all kind of stunts. Like, he'll bring up Anthony Joshua's mum so many times. He'll call Anthony Joshua his son, tell him he's his stepdaddy and all that. He'll wind him up something chronic.
I saw an article yesterday from Jarrell Miller saying even if I lose to Joshua, or even after I beat Joshua, I'm still going to take his mum out. So he's back on that wind him up train. So whether it's going to be a good move or a bad move for Joshua, we're going to find out come fight day. If he winds Joshua up and makes him mad, maybe Joshua's going to hit him twice as hard. Maybe he's going to lose his shit and end up getting knocked out. Who the fuck knows? Could go either way, man. Alright. I see James DeGale versus Chris Eubank Jr. has been picked up by Showtime. What do you reckon of that fight, man?
I don't like any of them. I really don't.
I think Eubank's going to get his ass whooped. Rightfully so. He's a freaking delusional, self-made hype job. He's living off his daddy's name, for me.
Do you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. But see, the difference is, like, I've never been a fan of James DeGale, but he did used to be half decent. But he's actually, he's famous for sitting against the ropes and trying to fight. Now, if you sit against the ropes with Chris Eubank, you're basically a punch bag, and that's what Chris Eubank's good at, stoning in the gym, punching a bag. If you're going to stone there like a punch bag, it will hurt him. Like, and that worries me that Eubank could beat DeGale, and Eubank will think he's special again. Like, he really will.
Yeah.
He'll change his ID poll and that to the special one. It'll go to seed something chronic, and that's bad as well. I hope DeGale beats him.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. I'm not a DeGale fan either, but to a degree, it's going to depend what DeGale comes to the ring, because he's made a habit of coming into the ring not in the right mind frame now and then, and it's cost him. So we'll see come fight night, I guess. His
trainer is, like, I don't know if you know DeGale's trainer, Jimmy McDonald.
Yep.
And Jimmy Mac, like, they reckon, like, they know James DeGale's no-go fights in him. Like, I'm worried this is a cash-out fight, because they don't sound pretty confident when you actually hear them talking, which is worrying. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I have to do a bit of research, see what other fighters are looking closer to fight day, and make a prediction, because like you say, if DeGale sits on the ropes, it's going to play into Eubank's hands, and that could be huge for the outcome of the fight. So interesting. Sergey Kovalev, he's looking for unification, so we haven't seen any more since his win over Alida Alvarez, pretty much. I guess he'll be having a bit of a break before he decides what he's going to do next. What else have we got in the news? We've got Daniel Dubois fighting Razvan Kajanu. That'll be at York Hall, I think. So
he's been doing some sparring. He's been sparring Big Whack.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He was sparring Whack yesterday. I think it was yesterday, but they released it today. That would have been funny.
Yes, indeed. He's about the same.
Josh Warrington, Kid Callahan, Posh Bid was one. That was one today. That's going to be on BT as well.
Oh, when's that fight due?
No date or venue, but BT won the Posh Bid.
Okay. So that's going to be a decent fight. Definitely going to be a decent fight. We still haven't got a date and venue for Khan versus Crawford yet, have we?
Aye, that's the 420. That's the 20th of April.
Or 20th of April. Okay. We're looking forward to that fight.
That will be of the day of pay-per-view in Britain with Dillian Whyte. That will probably be attached to that.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. Because that was free. That was up for bids as well. Because Top Rank had that, didn't they? They could have sold that to anybody in Britain.
Yeah, it'll be all hours of the morning for you guys, won't it? 4 o'clock in the morning or some shit.
5.
Okay. So yeah, will it be pay-per-view there still, you think, if it's at that time?
I don't think it'll be pay-per-view unless Dillian Whyte fights. If Dillian Whyte fights, then that'll be part of that pay-per-view. But put it this way, if Dillian Whyte doesn't get an opponent quick, that'll be postponed till maybe the week after. Or but they'll not be able to. There's only so long. You can't turn around in 8 weeks to go and say, oh, he's going to fight him. And
Indeed. Just looking through some stories here. What other news have we got? Oh, we've pretty much gotten through the worst of it, or the best of it, whichever you want. Spike O'Sullivan, Mark DeLuca, back on March 16th in Boston. Interesting. Spike will win that one.
was that Boston?
Yeah. Spike O'Sullivan, Mark DeLuca. Well, it's got comma Mark DeLuca, so it's not versus. Let's have a look on BoxRec. What's Spike up to? Gary O'Sullivan.
I seen him fighting. He fought on a card in Ireland on a Friday night not long ago.
Oh, okay, he did too. And beat a guy who was 26-13.
I watched that card that was on Irish TV. McGregor, I don't know if McGregor watched it, but I sent him the link. It was on Irish TV. I watched it online. He was meant to be fighting. See that card? Right, see, when was that? The 8th? The 7th? See, on the 8th of December? Can you remember the card? Josh Kelly was on it and he pulled out and stuff.
Yeah, the 7th of December.
The 8th of December, there was a matchroom card, and Spike was meant to fight on that as well, and he pulled out.
Oh, he fought on the 7th of December.
That was a Friday night. He fought on a Friday night, I'm sure.
Yeah. Fought Gabba Gorbus. Oh, I can't even remember pronounce his name. Okay. He's not. He is fighting on the 16th of March, and he's fighting a guy who is 16-4, and his name is how the hell? Kyrie Gray. Must be Kyrie. Yeah, that's in Boston, so not sure who else is on that card yet. Let's have a look. Mark DeLuca is the main event, and he's fighting Jimmy Williams. Charles Foster versus Mike Jimenez. Don't know them dudes. Gary Spike O'Sullivan.
Look, there's a few on that. Are you looking at that? Oh no, you're looking at the Spike card there.
Yeah.
See who was on that? It was just because it's a small. It's not a big card, so I was looking to see the Irish boxers, because there's a few of the Irish boxers who are.
Noel Murphy.
There's one there, John Joyce.
Oh yeah, okay. John Joyce, yeah, he's fighting Noel Murphy.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's a good amateur.
Okay.
I don't know. I take it that's an Irish guy who lives in America has thrown that card on.
Awesome. Well, good to see a few out in action at least. So that's good news. What else have we got here? I did see someone calling somebody out. Some Irish fighter somewhere. Lomachenko's going to be fighting that. What's that guy who won last weekend? I can't remember his name. Never mind. To Unify anyway at 135, so that'll be good. Lomachenko. Kroller purse bid. Anthony Kroller fighting Lomachenko.
That's been. Is that due to go to Pus as well? There's a
Purse,
few fights that go
Purse
for
bid,
Pus.
Purse bid rescheduled for February 13th.
Oh, there you go. There's another one. So that's how common it is. Like, it literally just constantly happens because, like, what does a deadline mean, really?
Kind of
It's a
defeats the
gentleman's agreement.
kind of defeats the purpose of having a deadline, doesn't it?
That's it. It's pointless because at the end of the day, they're not going to turn and say, well, today they make it go to Pus, but surely that's when the two promoters don't even. Some promoters, like Eddie Hearn for the Kid Galahad fight, Eddie Hearn there was no negotiations. That meant even though they never tried to negotiate that fight, Eddie Hearn wasn't interested in a negotiation. He let that go straight to Pus. He never tried to negotiate that fight.
Yeah.
He actually asked the IBF to take it straight to Pus for the negotiation. That happens as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the WBA that gave the extension this time, so that's a common occurrence. Giving 2 extensions or more is pretty uncommon though, so
Well, it happens.
it does happen, but yeah, not often more than 1 extension.
Well, but Eddie Hearn he got 8 extensions, didn't he, to try and make a undisputed for the WBA?
Well, he was getting extensions not for a purse, but he was just trying to delay the order at that stage. But
Oh no, if that was due to go to Pus as well, that would have went to Pus. They would have had so many days to negotiate that, and then that's what he said, that would go to Pus. He had to make the agreement with Povetkin, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Once they'd ordered it, yeah. Oh, what did he say? He got 11 7-day extensions or something from the WBA on that one, so it can be done. But that was on the proviso looking for a undisputed fight. So,
but how close are you? How close are you? See, if you tell somebody you're close and then 5 weeks later you tell them you're close, that's wrong, man.
yeah.
11 extensions, that should be looked at as well. I never realised that. They gave him 11 extensions and nobody thinks that's wrong either.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know whether Eddie Hearn was exaggerating when he said that, but I'm sure I heard him say I got 10 or 11 7-day extensions, and you know the WBA got fed up with Deontay Wilder saying I'm going to sign next week. Once he said that, it was no. After 11 extensions, that's just too much. But shit, man.
That's crazy,
That's
isn't it?
crazy.
So we'll expect Fury Wilder to get made round about, I'm going to guess, 6 weeks' time. 6 extensions.
Jesus. Wow. I could understand if it was a big undisputed fight, but just being a voluntary defense, I don't think it's legit to give that many extensions. No way.
They'll be lucky. They'll be lucky to get another one. They might get a 5-day extension or something at the end of this, but they'll be lucky to get that.
Yeah.
Then it might go to Pus. It could go to Pus, but let's be honest, there's still a chance that could go to Pus, but
the fighters will make more money if it does. I'm gonna stick by that statement because I'll bet you there's not as much money in it in the current deal that's being negotiated as what would come out in purse. But that's just an opinion. I put the fighters first. Fuck the promoters. Fuck the networks. They're not the ones getting in the ring doing the damage, and they're not the ones that we come to see. So,
no, but that's a problem. Like you got to think like that Dillian Whyte Chisora fight. They fighters got 2 million and $1 million out a pot that was 10 million. So like say the other fighters made 10%. That means that somehow they fighters never seen 60% of that pot, which is a lot. I know promoters need to take some, and that's even if Eddie never got paid after Dillian might got paid. But like that's a lot for Sky to be keeping as well. Like that done £8.5 million just on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Never mind the full arena. That's 10 million when you're fighting and it's worth 10 million and you're getting 2 million as the A side. Like the TV network, like Sky are making a fortune off of that. They're at least keeping some. They're taking their 50% for sure.
Yeah, well, you can't say the rest of the card cost $8 million.
No,
So,
fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, someone's making a shitload of money, and it ain't the fighters.
Yep.
Alright, man. We'll think about wrapping it up. So I'd like to thank everybody in the chat who turned up, particularly Dan Mack and Double A Boxing and Blunts for jumping in. It's been an awesome chat today. Have you got any final words there before we wrap it up, Double A?
Nah, be safe, people. Be safe.
Good message, good message. Alright, man, this is Double A Boxing and Blunts. Get over there, check out his channel. Got some funny shit over there. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm Jono, Big Boys Boxing. We done for today. We'll catch you next time. See you.